What's up everybody? Welcome back to the East Coast PC channel. Today we are going to be comparing SATA solid state drives and NVMe PCI Express solid state drives, and we're going to be talking about when it still makes sense to buy one of these SATA solid state drives in 2021. Before we go any further, please make sure any of you that aren't subscribed, please take a second of your time, go down and hit that subscribe button. Our future here at East Coast PC greatly depends on each and every one of you. We buy all of our own products, and by you subscribing, it just enables us to buy new products, to compare, review, and do so much more stuff. Thank each and every one of y'all for y'all's support. Alright, so this NVMe drive right here from Western Digital, it is the WD Black SN750. It is a great PCI Express 3.0x4 NVMe drive, and I have been banging the drum for these NVMe drives for many years now. I've been using them for about 5 years, and they are very fast, but there is a lot of situations in computing that you don't really get the benefit of it, and the reason why, there's so many other bottlenecks in the system. It's RAM, the CPU, and just a system waiting on other components that make up the whole PC. And a SATA solid state drive was for a long time the budget option, and now these drives have almost reached price parity with within about, I don't know, 30 bucks or so. But there is a lot of reasons why it still makes sense to buy a SATA solid state drive. I have one, this is a brand new one right here in the box. I have an additional one in my computer I've been using for about 6 months. This is just an empty box. I also have this very drive in my computer. They both work great, and I am currently using this one as a game drive, this one also as a game and storage drive. And the thing is, sometimes this one might load a game 3 or 4 seconds faster, sometimes 1 or 2. Game loading times really haven't started to take that much advantage of NVMe drives. It's still better, they are still better, but how much better, and are they worth the extra money if you can get a SATA solid state drive on a really good deal? For instance, I got this SATA solid state drive for $85 for a 1 terabyte drive. This Crucial MX500 right here is an excellent SATA solid state drive. Is one of the best ones on the market, and it has a DRAM cache in it. Both of these drives do, and that's one thing I want to advise you on. Never ever, unless you absolutely have to, buy a solid state drive of any type without a DRAM cache. It can take what could have been a very good drive and make it very lackluster when you start doing even a decent amount of writing, 10, 15, 20 gigs depending on the size of the drive, and then it'll sometimes absolutely slow to a crawl. For instance, you can take a drive like this one runs on TLC NAND, and I also advise to stay away from QLC NAND if you can. QLC is a newer standard. It was supposed to be cheaper, but it's actually not a whole lot cheaper, and it's not near the quality. It's way slower. And sometimes with a QLC drive, you can have, even with a DRAM cache, because this QLC, it'll sometimes slow down to a crawl even slower than a SATA solid state drive. So the reason I made this video is I do want to point out to all of my viewers that there is a lot of opportunity to save money and have excellent performance on a SATA solid state drive like this. For instance, this drive right now is $129, $130. This one was on sale for $85, which is the lowest price to my knowledge it has ever been by at least $15. That is an excellent buy. You are saving $45, and if you are just putting games on it and putting a lot of storage on it, it is an excellent way to go to still use SATA solid state drives. You might not have that many PCI Express NVMe slots on your motherboard anyway. Now there's also another very good reason to go with this drive, and that's because you have to. This laptop right here is about 6 years old at this point, I think, or maybe 6.5. It was manufactured in 2014. It originally came with Windows 8 on it. Now it has a AMD A6. It's not no super fast processor or anything like that. It came with 8 gigs of RAM. Well, when I got this laptop, I immediately doubled the RAM size, but the biggest jump in performance came from when I put a 500 gig solid state drive in there. Now, it does not have no NVMe slot there, so that's just out of the question. So SATA solid state drive is obviously where you go. So in that case, that's one of the places SATA still has a spot in the market. The other spot is when you can get one of these drives for $85 or even $90. It is just an excellent buy, and I highly advise all of you, if you have an option to get a very cheap QLC NVMe drive, not this one right here, I'm just using this as an example because it's an NVMe drive, but say like an Intel 665p, yeah, they're good drives. They're okay drives. They're NVMe and they got fast seek and response time. But when you go to write something on them, they terribly lack in performance. And a lot of times a drive like this can outperform it by a pretty good margin because it's using a DRAM cache along with TLC, and some of the other drives use a DRAM cache along with QLC. So that's about the main gist of this video. I just wanted to explain to everybody, hopefully, how they could save some money on their storage and you know, get the best performance for their dollar. Now, one thing I do want to say before ending this video, I do recommend using a NVMe drive as your boot drive. If you cannot do that, that is fine. You are still going to get most of the responsiveness and the performance out of a SATA drive as far as you know, when you click on a program, how long it takes to load up. The reason that is because you're waiting on other factors of the PC other than just the drive. So even if the drive is 15,000 megabytes a second, which they don't even make a drive that fast right now, you know, if the computer can only go at 50, then you're bottlenecked anyway. So I do advise booting from an NVMe drive and using that as your boot drive, and then maybe using a SATA solid state drive as an additional storage before using a hard drive as mass storage. But if you cannot, just make sure you look for one of these drives like a Samsung 860 EVO or this Crucial MX500. And I do want to give you an example. The Samsung 860 EVO, the lowest price that I ever know of it going was on this past Black Friday for $99. And that is a very good drive. This drive and that drive are the best two SATA solid state drives on the market. They trade blows. The Samsung might be a tad bit better in some tests, but to save an additional $15, this is the absolute best bang for your buck that you can get on an SSD. You got good quality TLC NAND and a DRAM cache, and I think anybody will be extremely happy with this drive. But that's about it for this video, guys. Thanks each and every one of y'all for watching this video. And like I said earlier, make sure any of y'all that are not subscribed, make sure you get subscribed. And we got a lot more videos coming your way soon. We'll see you guys soon.